reduction of gross IGR is in line with the finance circular, its reference number, then, and the circular limits the annual budgetary expenditure from IGR of the partially federal government. The information was contained in a letter that was issued some time ago by the Accountant General of the Federation. And the letter on implementation policy, dated to October 17, 2023, and addressed to Vice Chancellor of Universities was approved by Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of Economy, while it was signed by the Director of Revenue and Investment. But what we want to find out now is that it has been reversed. So is this reversal a welcome development? Yes. That's what we want to find out on the fly this morning. The studio line 0803 437 9453.
Of 40% revenue remittance of universities to federal government by president's government. And we have on the line and a frontline education is this lovely more. They're all doing great.
There's nothing more beautiful than that reversal. We are working clamoring that the universities are underfunded. And give them autonomy to do what they can generate money from their different universities. But it was big potential from the beginning that to fund the different activities in the universities. And as a result, the standards, the infrastructure, and other areas that put the universities on the problem. So I thank God that it is begun. Let it continue like that. Thank you very much. You guys very inquiry.
Thank you sincerely. We sincerely appreciate you.
Somebody considers it a welcome development.
A welcome development, most definitely. Talking about, okay, we have another call on the line this morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I like you to know my name.
You're welcome to the program.
I'm calling from Indaka in Dodomo.
You're welcome, sir.
I want to thank the president for the injection that you see we are complaining about the that and that administration that it just happened in the education and they put the minister that is just on that I think the educational system in the other side. They continue to dictate. We lose all the deception 9 months. So you don't grant them autonomy. You will change you don't give them money. You need to generate what to collect 40%. That's illogical. So that's logical. It's not. That is the best way to do now. Let the university autonomy. And the issue of loan, it is one because of our scores. The student will go, get the loan, go and go and direct you.
Okay.
That is a welcome idea. Thank you. And we want the Mr. President to look at all the other more than 1,000 agencies. The budget you are talking, if they want to use an alternative to do the also called concurrent addresses. Out of the they are not the population. Just 2% for thank you.
FM 4 minutes past 8. Let's quickly. Minutes past 8 from your dialing station, OGBC 90.5 FM. We are still discussing issues that relates to the education this morning. We call have joining us this morning, Elder Wally. Sir.
KFC.
Good morning, sir.
How are you today?
We're all doing great.
Thank you very much. The topic this morning gladdens my mind. It is a big welcome
Development.
situation, yes. Because 40% of the internally generated revenue of Shipback is at this moment. And it would definitely uplift the spending of the universities. But I still want to plead with Mr. President not to give anything less than 26% of the annual budget to asking for more, that education should be given.
This morning.
The 40% revenue remittance of universities to federal government by President. We want to find out if it is our welcome development. What do you take of this news as a stakeholder?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Tope.
Good,
Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning,
good
sir.
morning.
I am Senator calling from Michelle. That that news sent by the president is more than welcome as far as I'm concerned. When the federal government was partially funding universities, they were also taking back 40% of the internal generated revenue. It's like they're giving us something for the land and taking it back with the left hand. So, reversing that what I would quote in the quote moral thing is very good. And according to the way they were saying, I would believe that the federal government, that is
The president devotes 26%.
should ensure that they put more funds into education. It could be more than 26% because of that. So I think it's a very good thing that President Bola Tinubu has advanced that welcome for policy. Thank you very much for listening attention.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
and this person has to carry out research. A professor, in carrying out his research, is going to employ a sub-researcher, is going to employ the services of a people researcher, is going to employ the service of a clerical somebody to help him.
Even research assistants.
And even research assistants. Now, in getting all those places, those people, there's no way he will not need to put a packet of biscuits on the table of researcher, a banana in the on the table of the clerical something. When you look at all those things, where does he get that money? It's of the university. No matter what they assign as what we call budget for the of that, will not in any way support quality education in the university.
Now, with what's this latest developments, I guess it has been in the system the way it's actually been passed is that 40% of that revenue of any university will be rented to the federal government coffers. But now the President Bola Tinubu, is aside of it that instead of this 40% to be going into federal government coffers, and then we've received calls from them and the university administration, how some are of the view that 26% of the budget 2024 should be devoted to the education sector, even if it is possible that it can be even made more than 20% has been done in a neighboring country. Do you think this is actually feasible? That 26% of our revenue of our budget will be devoted to the education sector?
Well, we could even go higher than 26%. We could even go as far as 30%. Because education, you see, the problem is when you invest into education, you are investing into national life, national building, national future, and what have you. So whatever you education, as a parent, for instance, you spend your almost all your earnings on the education of your children because you are considering your old age. If the government is considering of what happens to Nigeria tomorrow, committing 30% of our total budget into education is not too much. I think we should go even higher. Yeah.
Now, should the federal government hands off the funding of the universities in our dear country? And what is your view about university autonomy?
Well, thank you so much. Government cannot hands off and should not hands off.
You know, sometimes they say the government does not have any business in any business.
Education is not business.
Okay.
When you talk of agriculture, you say that is business, other things. But when you talk of education, you are building a nation. But even some of these privates release them because they are helping us to build our nation for tomorrow. So talk of the fact that education is a business is not. It's never a business.
No.
Okay. Sorry, Kemi is also joining us this morning. Comrade, good morning to you.
Good morning to you. Good morning. Comrade Abayomi.
How are you, sir?
It's good morning.
Very much.
You make me happy this morning. You are really expressing my mind. You are instructions. Now, when government says it's going to do something, at the facilitated stage, without praising them, and when it comes to education, they come up with failure. And at that time, praise singers will not be able to reverse the praise that they have need of government. That is one thing. What the government away for the emergence, for the almost full emergence of private education. That is my prognosis. Now, we all know that no government in Nigeria has ever attained the UNESCO recommended standard of finance for education in Nigeria. None. Now, something is being done good before us now. This is the time to critically examine what the government intends to do and monitor the implementation. 26% is not really the thing for me, and as you said, which I agree with, 30% is
Thank you very much.
We want you to react on that.
Well, Comrade Adeba, I know he's equally an educationist and his mind. Like I said, I quickly came in and I said we have a disaster situation in education in Nigeria. And it's sometimes I look at it, I wonder, these people that go there and make policy, either in the legislative or what have you, have they never been educated? Have they never gone to school? We know the costs of education. Pay 500,000, 600,000, 1 million naira for university education. Even the one they are now talking about, 240, 250, many civil servants will discover may drop their children out of school, out of university situation. So we need to sit down and really think about our education system and depolitize it and make it a reality. I know this one is our investment. We are investing into the future. We're not expecting any profits for now. The profit will come later. When you begin to produce your engineers and the rest of them and they are coming in, then you are getting the profits. But for now, until you finish educating them, continue the investment. That's just it.
Now, if universities are granted full autonomy, what should be expected? Well, after this time out.
Kemi, you were talking about
when universities are granted full autonomy,
yes.
What should be expected?
Full autonomy. What type of autonomy? Financial autonomy? Well, if they give granted financial autonomy, will that still not boil down to the point where the federal government will say you are on your own? Don't come to us for anything again. They charge the school fees to be paid. Who is monitoring the charge? What if they charge something too high for the citizens? So there is no way, even when you give them the financial autonomy. Well,
the issue of checks and balances.
That's another thing. The checks and the balances. How do you go about it? How do you manage what they receive? Now, all those things are there. You see, we just have to look at, like I said, we just have to face that hard reality that education is an investment by any parent, by any government, by anything. Look away from what you are spending on that education for now. Think about the future. Forget about your present.
Federal government coffers now. As the federal government equally came with another good message to Nigerians from the education sector. Starting from January 2024, there is going to be a student loan. So perhaps let us take a look at the issue of this loans being proposed for students of the higher institutions. What is your take on this? Is it really a welcome development or the otherwise?
Student loan is, well, I will agree that student loan should be made available to students to help them. But then, how feasible are all these loans? Will every student have a reach to that loan? It's a different thing when you say you have a policy. What about the implementation? There's a good policy. That's where we have the problem. So if they grant them loan and the loan is available to pick and carry student, once he gains admission to university, the loan is available for him. He doesn't need to have to go through difficult bottlenecks assessing.
Morning, Heather Ocean is rejoining us this morning. Good morning, sir. Once again.
Good morning, Tope. Thank you very much. I just had to come back.
Okay.
Because of that question that you posed. That the university is now giving financial autonomy. That should not stop the federal government from still funding the universities. That should not stop the federal government from supervising the way the universities are running. students. How many students will be able to access the loan? It is better to give enough funds to the university so that the cost of attending the university will come.
Rejoining us.
We're talking about master autonomy. We're saying full autonomy had governing councils of universities. Governing councils. These are the councils that are supposed to regulate the functioning of universities. And that is the way that to direct the running of universities. I'm talking about loans or etc. We had this in the past. So well, I'm not saying I don't think it's a new thing. For example, if I didn't have a marketing bursary and Western State scholarship, I probably would not have been able to go through university. So I would have made. I don't see any problem with that. This should come back. In addition to government, there are these funding, education thing that's any problem. That I don't see any problem. Whether it's called it loan, whether it's called it bursary, whether it's called it scholarship, let that be assistance to students who cannot afford the university fees. Then that's where we have about what is that from Ishara.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Elder Bangu from Ishara.
Mr. Bayomi, your reaction?
Yes,
Yes,
our elder man, I appreciate you. Actually, well, there is a difference between loan and bursary. I quite remember that I also enjoyed bursary, but it was not to be paid back. Loan is to be paid back. So, whichever way, however, the students must be helped. And we must come to the realization that, like he has said, the governing council, Comrade spoke of, a kind of, okay, you are the one that spoke about the issue of checks and balances.
yes.
Well, of no addition, some kind of check, let us know how you spend your money, how you spend your money. That's all right. That's okay. That's very much acceptable. And but then government should not think because I've now given the university the autonomy, then I will hand off. You cannot hand off, sir.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Our guest, renowned educationist Edward Abayomi, well, thank you for sparing your time for
Thank
us
you very
on
much.
the flight this morning. We also appreciate all our callers for their constructive contributions. I'm not forgetting our editors from the newsroom, Elizabeth Kufuriji, Akim Sulaiman, the sound manager, Yemi Selikuji, ICT manager, Milayo Akintoye.
My name is Babalola. Please do have a beautiful Tuesday.